Thank you, everybody, for your testimony. The Senator had to step out for a minute, and I get to jump in now since he's gone and ask a few questions as we all start to address the questions or address you. First off, I'd like to thank you all for your testimony. It was very impressive, very enlightening, and I really actually enjoyed a lot of it. I want to thank President Burton for bringing the students, because I think sometimes when we start talking about this, we actually lose sight that there's actually students and real people that we're talking about. I think sometimes during these academic discussions and policy and what we're doing, we lose sight that there's real people trying to get a real education. So I appreciate you doing that. I also appreciate the statement you made about teachers and about the quality of education and how that we can't, as a society, and what we're hearing so much, especially in the national news, is the bashing of the teachers and the teachers' unions. This is critical to us all as we move ahead, and I appreciate you bringing that up. It's something that we always continually need to do, and I appreciate you doing that. I'll just keep going since the Senator is still. I had one of the things that we've talked about and we've heard all along is the issue of jobs. And we hear that so frequently here in Massachusetts, and we hear it around the country. What we know, though, is we know we're doing better here in Massachusetts than the rest of the country. I think the country's unemployment rate is about 9%, 9.2. Massachusetts is running about 7.2. And depending on how educated your population is, your employment rates or unemployment rates are even better. The district I represent, Metro West, has a very high level of people. Actually, I think we're running somewhere around 50% of the people have bachelor's degree in my district. We're seeing our unemployment rates around 5%, so 2% lower than that. And then we see people with bachelor's degrees. The real unemployment rate for people with bachelor's degrees in my area runs a little over 2%. So when we're looking at a national unemployment rate of 9%, and then we're looking at people with bachelor's degrees running around 2%, we know how important a bachelor's degree is, and we know how important it is to the Commonwealth and to our future, which sort of leads me to where I'm going with this dialogue here, is that one of the things that we need to talk about and we need to address is how do we get more students through the pipeline with bachelor's degrees. We know we don't have enough folks here in Massachusetts with bachelor's degrees. I know the Vision Project starts to look at that, and if you could address how do we get more students through. When we talk about college completion rates, one of the concerns is we don't want to cream the top and end up with fewer people with bachelor's degrees because our percentage was better. We need more people with bachelor's degrees in Massachusetts to drive our economy. So does anybody want to talk a little bit about that?
Without getting into it, we have what I consider a program of the future. GE Lynn is going to lose 2/3 of its experienced machinist. Machining now is not what was in your grandfather's age. We formed an alliance with GE Lynn and the WIB and the college, and we screened 150 applicants from the unemployed pool. Of that pool, only 50 hit the math benchmark on the AccuPlacer. We even lowered it a bit and gave them special training to get it up. The GE interviewed each one of those people twice, and 22 people were selected. They are now working on the floor at GE, earning a lot of money, and they're still in the classroom at the college earning credits, college credits. At the end of the year, they'll get a certificate, and if they continue, they'll get an associate degree in advanced manufacturing, and they could go on to a bachelor's degree. And I won't read the whole letter from Maria Deacon, who's the head there, but she said this initiative combines GE's expertise with machining practice and the academic excellence at NACC, resulting in a valuable program for participants and positive economic impact on the local community.
One of the models I like, which I think feeds into what was said here, and we were doing this in Maryland because I was involved with the WIA effort there, the Governor's Workforce Investment Board in Maryland. We would take a cluster like construction, where you have good jobs coming out of high school, good jobs coming out of being trained by the various training agencies, including the unions themselves in their training shops and some of the non-trade unions, great jobs coming out of the community colleges and the universities, and then graduate. And we could take an area like construction, and we could build a pipeline that says, hey, if you think you're going to be a third-class electrician or a third-class machinist, you could do that.
We have added what they call labor market payoffs to all of our programs. They're called career maps. So any student coming in, whether you're a displaced home worker with no degree or coming to machine, you can see how you can get to a labor market payoff, which is a job. And it makes a huge difference to someone if they can see where they're going and see what it will lead to.